Okay, so hello everyone. My name is LisaKriederman. I'm a forecaster and also incident meteorologist with the National Weather Service. And we'll just go ahead and look into how I became a forecaster as well as an incident meteorologist. Let's see. Okay, so how did I even get interested in weather? This all came back to about when I was 3 years old. I was laying outside in my yard and started screaming my head off. And my mom came out and was asking, what was wrong? What was wrong? And turns out I was screaming because I thought the trees in our yard were falling on top of me, but that was really only because the clouds were moving. And after she explained this to me, that just kind of got my head going, and I was really interested in clouds ever since then. And then also, just growing up here in Colorado, it's a very interesting place. We're kind of on the edge of Tornado Alley. We get a lot of interesting cloud formations, and since our atmosphere is a little drier over here compared to, let's say, Kansas or Missouri, Iowa, any of those central located states, you can see the clouds a lot better. And as you see on the picture on the left-hand side, we get some pretty gnarly looking clouds, and those just always interested me. I was always found outside by my parents during storms, just wanting to look at how the clouds moved. So Colorado was definitely a great place to kind of form that interest in weather. And let me proceed. Okay, so what education did I need to kind of get into this forecasting genre? Basically a 4-year college degree, university degree. That definitely includes physics and math. It doesn't really require that you have a love for it. I don't know if I had one for it, but it definitely helps you get through everything. I think the biggest thing in order to have for this was a love for weather. As long as you have that, then it kind of keeps you going to get through that math and to get through that physics. And then it all kind of starts making sense on exactly how those clouds move and why are those clouds forming. So that love for weather can really help you get through any of those classes. And I ended up going to the University of Arizona in Tucson. There's many degrees or locations around the U.S. That offer these kinds of degrees. I chose Arizona because I was really interested in the monsoons down there. It's the southwestern monsoon where basically it's dry all year, and then the weather pattern changes, and then it brings up all this moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and also from the Pacific down by the Gulf of California, and it creates these amazing thunderstorms. So I chose to go there, and then that's where I got my degree. It was a 4-year degree, very great program. That also started my love for weather in wildfires. Arizona, as you know, if you saw on the news just last summer, they had a lot of wildfires there. Definitely a dry environment, but you don't always have to have a dry environment to have wildfires. But that's definitely where I started getting involved in how weather affects that, and then also how wildfires create their own weather. I had experience all across the country. Getting into the National Weather Service was very appealing to me because, as you see on the map on the right-hand side, those are basically all the offices that reside along the United States. And so where I started was in Tucson. So on the left-hand map, I started in Tucson, and then I made my way over to Honolulu, Hawaii, and worked there for a few years. And then I wanted a little more change, and since there are so many offices with the National Weather Service, I headed on up north to Anchorage, Alaska, and spent about 3 years there. and then headed all the way down to Boulder, back to Colorado, where I grew up, which was a lot of fun to just kind of come back and then fully really understand the weather with all my experience that I had going around the United States. So with fires, really they do occur everywhere. These pictures are from basically all the places that I have worked and also the places I have gone to fires. So basically my job is using my weather forecasting experience. I can go to these wildfires where I can help the incident command team that's there to fight the fire. I'm basically their on-site fire weather forecaster that helps them fight the fire each day, but also gives them a plan on what they should do for the next couple days. So my experience was really teaching me on how to really approach the weather to deal with these fires across the country, where you can have them in the dry desert southwest of Arizona. You can also have them all the way up north in Alaska, which there's so much land and trees up there, they can be very large wildfires. You can also have them right down by the ocean, as example in those pictures from Hawaii and California. And then was just in 2010, I was forecasting for the 4 Mile Canyon fire in Colorado. So basically, being the National Weather Service forecaster, that is my main job. And then this incident meteorologist, which is, it's a volunteer job, but it's kind of my specialty. And it's purely volunteer. My office allows me to leave the main job of forecasting for northeastern Colorado and go wherever they need me across the country to become that on-site meteorologist that the fire teams need. So how do you become an incident meteorologist? The big thing is that you need to know the small scale, this very small scale weather, in terms of they don't want to know just the winds are going to be west at 15 miles per hour. They want to know, okay, down this drainage, you need, you're going to see this downslope wind of 5 miles per hour, but if you're in this other drainage where the fire still is, you're going to see an upslope wind. So it's very important in fighting fires. You also need to know a little bit about fire behavior, and you do take some classes with that. But basically, it's just how that localized weather is going to happen. You're not looking at a broad scale. You're looking much more micro scale. And then also, after you learn all these, the smaller scale forecasting techniques and how you can get your message out to all the incident command teams, the next thing is just to go to the fires and get your experience, because that's really the only thing that will really get you going and really understanding the environment, is just getting hands-on experience. So what do you do as an incident meteorologist? There's lots of things that you do. You're so busy. My days are typically about 14 to 16 hours long, and that's just keeping on track with the weather that's happening. I also give briefings to the fire crews, to the incident command teams. News stations come in if it's a really big fire. I give them briefings, and basically I'm just telling them what to expect for that day, and also what to expect for the next couple days. And of course, I'm just there it's for the firefighters' safety. So that's a big thing. So I kind of hammer in, if a cold front is coming through or a thunderstorm is coming. I give them timing, because, yeah, basically my main job is for the firefighters' safety. I also take measurements. We release these weather balloons, and that can tell us what the winds are doing above us. We set up instrumentation that can record temperature and humidity all around the fire, so it can kind of tell me what's exactly happening out there. I do some observing from high points to try to get a lay of the land, to see kind of where the winds would go, get an idea of the drainages, the ridges, all the directions of that. And I also coordinate with a lot of the team members who are there with me, so we can basically make a complete picture of how to fight the fire. A big thing that we do, which I love to do, is getting a bird's eye view. And we do this a lot by taking helicopter rides over the fires. And that way, again, you can just see how the lay of the land is. You can also see inversions where the smoke will be trapped under, kind of like the center picture down below. That can really affect the visibility for firefighters, and also allow the fire to grow or be suppressed. So that's also very important to figure out. But basically, the best thing is just getting that lay of the land to see where all those drainages are, where cold air can come in a certain valley, and basically that just really helps the whole forecasting process. Also, a great thing about it, which I love, is just being outdoors and going camping. Of course, these fires can happen anywhere, but you know, obviously more away from towns where all the forests are and where the wide open lands are. So basically, the whole fire camp moves out to where the fire is to make it easier access. And so yeah, you get to find these great places that are outdoors. I found some of the most beautiful places around the U.S. doing this. I've grown up loving to go camping. My family took me there. So it's just a way to bring my job as a meteorologist and combine it with my love for the outdoors. So it's pretty much the best of two worlds. I get to just go forecast outside. So that's probably my favorite part of it. And it looks like that is it. So do I take some questions now?